Hey everyone, hopes everyone's doing fine. Uncle Al, don't forget to unmute. Alrighty. Hey everyone, hopes everyone's doing fine. Uncle Al, don't forget to unmute. Okay, I got a thing going on here. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. Kill the echoes here. There we go. Echoes are all killed. And you should have, and here they're coming over from Stringfield Ridge Farm. So anyone that hasn't gone to Stringfield Ridge, they're on right before me for the hour before me. Great channel, good information, good people. Alrighty, so tonight's topic is what homesteaders need to learn from city preppers. So this is the flip from last week, which was what city preppers need to learn from homesteaders. And basically it means everybody can learn something from everybody else. And the latest thing I'm going to share, I picked this up at Walmart for under $4. It's a half-gallon jug. So yeah, stay hydrated, people, because right now, well, it's 82 degrees outside right now. So, but it is dropping. So, actually, let me refresh the weather. I can tell you exactly what it says out there. Okay, 80. It says 83. So, that's what the National Weather's reporting for. It is out here, and they're pretty close. So, it was up to 85 earlier today. Let me get back over here. All righty.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, I got more coming in. All right. So before we start going down the list here, into the topics here, let's say hi to everybody. Cecilia Jansen, right. Sorry, and of course Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79, Stringfield Ridge Farm, homesteading in Idaho, and Going Green Mom, Drops Family Garden, Freaky Geek, hey, Papa Truck Prepsteader.
Yep.
Okay, I've just lost her name. Homesteading in Idaho, over in Nampa. She said they had 93 today. So, and yeah, tomorrow we'll be lucky to hit 60 degrees, snow and freezing temperatures possible. Yeah, we're supposed to get hit with the Sunday night, Monday morning, and Monday night, Tuesday morning with frost warnings up. Audra, that's right, Audra, yeah. Okay, Audra, homesteading in Idaho. She has some really great videos. Her family's really neat too, so check her channel out, Homesteading in Idaho. All right. Oh, Duncan, 1900 Homestead. All right. Great. Good to have you in here. Duncan was doing a great job moderating over on Stringfield Ridge Farm. All righty. So tonight's topic is, this is a flip from last week. Last week, as I said, was what city preppers need to learn from homesteaders. And tonight it's what homesteaders need to learn from city preppers. And so let me go ahead and, as you can see here, sometimes the city and the farm community are fairly close sometimes. Yeah, Michael 58 just dropped in. Okay, so there's a big difference between everyday carries, EDCs, between city preppers and homesteaders. Now, I've watched Living the Dream, David Imaginator Wood, and Living the Dream is Jeremy, and then Chad at North County Off Grid, and their everyday carries are totally different. And some of the stuff that city preppers carry every day, sometimes there might be a few things in there, guys. All the homesteaders there, take a look and say, if there's a couple things in there you might think you might add to your everyday carry. But let's get into the real meat of it. Meat in it.
Remember, folks, it's basically where the topic is what preppers do, city preppers for homesteaders, and Gil just put up a good example.
Yeah. Now, I've seen a lot of the city prepping channels and stuff, and they're limited on their garden space. So they do a lot of like container gardening here, put stuff in pots and stuff, and if you look here, look at this. This is a vertical garden, a small vertical garden outdoors with their other garden, so they can make the most of their space. And what's interesting about this is going to take an advancement here in a second. So this is where they put it on the side of their garage. They got a lot of stuff growing on the side of their garage. But this next slide is what's so cool. You ready for this, guys? This is indoors. This is a garden wall indoors. So, like some of you may have seen on, I've mentioned a couple times on some of my videos lately about my bunker greenhouse. So where the coal bunker was for this house was built in 1903. Where the coal bunker is I've now turned it into a greenhouse downstairs. So, indoor growing is not a bad thing. And if you're in an area where your growing season is really short and you got a basement or you got a part of a garage you're not using, homesteaders, hey, or barn out there in the barn, hey, this is something you might consider thinking about, to have fresh vegetables during the winter time. Yeah. In fact, right now my daughter has bought 10 5-gallon buckets, and we got the baskets for it and the lids and stuff. And she's going to make a little hydroponic garden this winter in the basement, so we can have fresh vegetables in the basement.
Is she going to use the light from Brad? I can't remember. It's hidden something.
The hidden grow light, the stuff. I'm not sure. We have a bunch of other grow lights. We've been picking up both LED and incandescent ones, and she has a couple small bar fluorescent LEDs. We're hoping that come this fall, the prices, the fluorescents will become back on the market because not everybody's grabbing them up, and the price will drop. We're hoping. We're crossing our fingers, and so that's what we're going to try to get, a couple fluorescent ones to put down in the basement there. So we wind up between them, all the different ones. We'll have a full spectrum of grow lights going here on our homestead here. All right. Okay, homesteading in Idaho. I figured out. Let me throw that one up here. Yeah. So, all right. So there's someone who's taken it and gone to and been able to go it there and get it up going bigger for year-round growing.
Oh, that's good.
And drop family garden indoor in my den with solar and wind power grow lights all winter long. It's great to have. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm just looking here. Going Green Mom says she's been doing the self-wicking containers this year. Yeah, actually, the self-wicking containers, my mom was doing some of those back before I met my wife. And my wife and I have been married over 30 years. So, of course, they didn't call it self-wicking containers back then. All righty. Let's see. So let's so there's the question for Audra about hers. All right, good. You guys are all talking about stuff back and forth. Oh, drop. Yeah, very good. Yeah, you can also do microgreens indoors. And I got to get a picture of what my daughter set up down in the kitchen. We have these 12 by 12 wire basket things that you put together. It comes off each, and they got little clips on it, so it comes off in panels. You put it all together, so you can do whatever you want with it, And she's got a whole bunch of stuff growing in down there. All right, let's go on the next slide here. All right, security. Okay, now most homesteaders, not all, feel that being out in the country, they don't have to worry too much about security. But if, as Dave at Southern Ohio Prepping was saying, him having been a trucker moving a lot of the country's food around for many years, says if the current problem, which people think we are recovering from, hits the truckers again, we could have a real food shortage this fall. Now, Papa Truck Prepstetter said dogs. Dogs are a good point to have that. That homesteaders have. They have dogs that are livestock guardian dogs, and they have just regular, hunting dogs and stuff like that as well. But let me take the security, the high-tech security stuff to the next level here. All right. With all the new stuff on smartphones and everything, and the wireless internet type stuff and networks stuff, you can set all sorts of cool stuff up, including outdoor cameras everywhere. Now, the cameras don't have to be just around the house. You can have cameras set up out in the barn, in the chicken coop, and where the goats are, where the pigs are, where all the livestock are, so you can keep an eye on the livestock in case a normal accident happens, something happens, a fox gets in the hen house, something to let you know what's going on out there, to take that some sort of a minor emergency that you need to take care of really quick. Whereas if you didn't know about it till the next morning, you're going to be going whereas you could have rushed out and taken care of it. Yeah.
I have to put one thing. My nephew has a better phone than I do, but he has it on also all the gates on our property out in the farm. So every gate has an individual camera on it, and we know who's coming in and going out.
Yeah. Yeah, geese can be amazing guard dogs, but they're also very messy. They poop indiscriminately everywhere. And
okay, let me say hello to Will.
Yeah, Uncle said, like he said, Will, just in time prepping came in, and Jehoiadak Maccabeus off grid and everyday survival has come in, and he used all night owl security cameras. Cool. All right, Butch over at Sand Hollow, he's got the Wi-Fi ring. It's very cool.
Yep.
All right, so let me go back to the slideshow here. And what's the next one on security coming in? Oh, yes. Uncle Al's been harping about this. The Underground's been harping about this. Anthony at Pimento Prepared has been harping about this. Financial security. Need to have some reserves. And that's one of the things that that both city preppers and homesteaders need to both learn. Although some city preppers are working a little bit harder on it, there are some that are prepping paycheck to paycheck, which is not good.
No. Another thing, folks, if you do run an active farm, you got to remember you have to have at least 2 different sources of income coming in, because that's not going to feed the cattle. It's not going to get your taxes paid, and you can't pay everybody off that works for you. Gil?
Yeah. Just looking here, Drops Family Garden, they got they raise show pigeons, so they have a side hustle. And that's the thing, you need to try to develop a side hustle or whatever. And if you're not too far from a city where they have a farmer's market, hey, that you can there people pay top dollar for farm fresh produce at a farmer's market. So you'll probably get more at one of those than you can, if you sell it elsewhere.
You could do like my friend down the street. He has a truck farm. He got a trailer, built his own little fruit and vegetable stand so people could go in. Everything's air conditioner and it's clean and it's nice. It's like a little greengrocer in England. And they all have vegetables. And the wife, she's Amish. She cans, and they have their own family farm jams, jellies, and I forget. They also produce. It's kind of like a chutney.
Yeah.
I have a couple of bottles left. But also, truck farming is good. So think about that, folks.
Yeah, Dirt Patch Heaven released a video earlier today, showing how makes her homestead pay for itself. So.
Yeah, but you got to be careful, folks. You want something else to support that in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
It could be a forest fire, it could be a flood, it could be an earthquake, it could be those crazies out there. It could be, you might have hoof and mouth disease one year and you have to kill the herd. Trust me, that was like, especially if you run a dairy.
Yeah. Now, one of the things here that I want to get into, let's go here onto the next one here. Okay, yeah, coming right into it here. Because I just saw, dealing with this comment here, walking right into it, canning versus freezing. Now, a lot of city preppers freeze stuff. They'll buy extra bags of the stuff from Sam's Club or Costco, and they'll stock their freezers up. The one thing that some of them don't do is to have a backup power. But some of them now, with the advent and the proliferation of all these solar generators, which are really basically a battery, ion lithium battery pack that hooks up the solar panels, so you can run stuff. A lot of them are getting those, and there's some really new ones, great ones coming on the market here. But some urban city preppers have gotten the generators that run, the tri-fuel generators that run on gasoline, propane, and natural gas. Well, city preppers have usually have a really good source of natural gas. And I've watched several channels where they are taking, excuse me, they're taking their generator like that and putting special mufflers on it and putting it in a soundproof box that also acts as a Faraday cage to protect it, so that they can run their generator and not have anybody hear it. Once again, everybody, hydrate.
Yep, and also, yes, Birmingham rollers are pigeons. I used to raise racing pigeons. Those are blue Modens.
Yeah. Let me check. I'm checking the side chat here. Oh, yeah. Also dehydrating.
Yep.
I guess I guess everybody does that kind of equally on some of the channels I watch. But the ones that the city preppers do, that's really, I think that most homesteaders should actually start looking into if they can afford it. And there it is. Boom. Going freeze drying. Exactly. Freeze drying strawberries, potatoes, a lot of stuff you can freeze dry. And Uncle Al wanted me to make sure that I mentioned this, and it has to do the one here on the end, the beef stew, is like the strawberry, these others here will keep for a decade or so if done properly. Beef stew, because there's usually some amount of fat in it, you try to trim all the fat off, but there's going to be fat in the marbled meat. Fat does not freeze dry very well. And so like for a good lean beef stew or a good lean chili, you're going to have a 1 to a 2 year shelf life. So, but this is something that's really good to do in the, you get it done in the summertime or in the fall when you butcher the animals, whether it's beef, pigs, whatever. And when it's what you can do is you can freeze dry everything but the meat and just freeze the meat, or salt pack the meat, or store the meat another way, or do a combination, salt pack and then freeze dry the salt pack, which will make it last even longer. But it will it'll also make it easier, be in smaller containers once it's freeze dried. The banana chips shrivel up, the pineapple shrivels way up, and so it takes up a lot less space when you do freeze dry. Now, I haven't seen her in here tonight. Oh, we have Enriched Refuge.
That's Deb.
Just came in.
That's Debbie. I think it's Deb or Debbie. I can't see.
Yeah. But the one channel, guys, if you have a chance to check out, she freeze dries a lot.
Yeah, and Pennsylvania Prepper.
Exactly, Pennsylvania Prepper. She is a freeze drying fanatic.
Yeah, her group's always freeze drying. I do have to warn people, and I do have sometimes on her, if you're freeze drying pet food, make sure the fat content. Because if you have fat content, same thing as the beef stew, it's only have a 1 to 2 year lifespan, then it goes bad. And if anybody opened a bag of food with oil or fats, the whole thing inside will turn black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross as hell. And you can't eat that. That's, whatchamacallit? I forgot what kind of mold. What's the black mold, Gil?
The black mold, shoot.
It's anaerobic. Doesn't need air to survive.
Yeah. And so it can be, some of the black molds are really, really nasty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Eat that and find out. Ew.
Yeah. Or just don't have to eat it. Just you pop it open. And next thing you know, Anyways, let's drop. Okay, so that's all I had on the slideshow to bring things up. Now, there's a couple other things that I didn't get a chance to pop up into the slideshow that I really wanted to bring some information up on here. And so I'm going to try to pop something up here for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about first aid. And I know a lot of homesteaders, knowing how to do first aid is a life essential. But let's see if I can get doom and bloom up here. Doom and bloom. For some reason, it's not coming up. There it goes. Doom and bloom. All right. Doomandbloom.net. All right. So those of you that have seen me for been the last or the first several months of this year, watching me or Southern Ohio Prepping, we've had on our show Doc Bones and Nurse Amy, and they got some. They are a doctor and a nurse that are preppers, and they have some really. Pop it in here. Go a little faster. There we go. Down to the. They have some really cool first aid kits that are not. Where is it here?
Ouchie boo boo kits.
Yeah, they are the heavy duty big ones. Yeah, they got family size first aid kits. There it is. Trauma. Trauma kit. All right. Basically, also known as a gunshot kit. You'd be surprised how many city preppers have a gunshot kit or two in their preps, and how many homesteading ones I've watched and commented don't have a gunshot first aid kit or a trauma first aid kit in their supplies.
Right. Steve on Corsair Trainer did a very short video on this. It's a very good video. If you carry a firearm or rifle or pistol or shotgun, you better have a trauma kit. I've seen too many people. Oh God, what vice president shot his friend in the face with birdshot?
Oh, I can't think of that. Yeah, it's
The one worked with Bush Jr. They did a movie about him.
Yeah, I can't remember right now. It's not off the top of my head.
You know who I'm talking about, Gil.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. Okay, what? Here we go. All right, got to come in here. All right, so anyone interested in furthering their first aid knowledge, see if you can locate a stop the bleed instructor near you. Amazing. Also, what's also it's I guess it's getting a little harder since they cut back the scouting. What used to be Boy Scouts, now it's Scouting of America. Oh, Dick Cheney. There's the answer. Dick Cheney.
Yep. Thank you, Drop Family Farms Garden. Sorry.
Yeah. The I just lost my train of thought. Yep, squirrel.
You were on the trauma kits, and also I think education, like bleed instructors.
Okay, yeah. Besides the training, I got it right here in front of me. The homesteading in Idaho comment. Besides finding that type instructor, there's also the wilderness survival instructors at the Boy Scouts of America. Well, now Scouting of America. Ontario Homestead just came in.
Hi, Ontario.
And okay, I got it. Okay, so the they have the it's a 2-year certificate for wilderness first aid, and then there's also the CERT program does a great first aid modules part of their training, which deals with triage as well, so you know who to treat first. And to go back up here on the comment, Will, sorry, yes, I missed your afternoon show. My wife arrived last night from California, and she's going to be heading back Sunday. She's going to have a real cheap, dirt cheap airfares from Allegiant from Oakland to Idaho Falls. I mean, we're talking dirt cheap. So anyways, that's why I was spending all the day with her and the grandkids. Okay. What we got? Look, I'm double checking everything. Okay. Oh, dang. All right. So over there in southwestern Idaho, got a windstorm, rain starting now into tomorrow. Oh, yeah. See that? It's same thing happened. Same thing's going to be going on over here. Last Saturday, I mentioned that we had snow. The Saturday before, we were at 89 degrees. Today, we're at 89 degrees. This coming Sunday, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, we got frost warnings here. It's
washing machine weather.
I like to say washing machine. I like to call it a yo-yo or a bungee drop. Temperatures.
Right. Hi, Ryan the gamer. And also, folks, we're not talking about holistic medications or herbalism. That's better for homesteader. We're talking about southern trauma. It's like Israeli bandages, tourniquets. A lot of people don't know how to put a tourniquet on, and you don't put one around your neck.
Well, unless you're giving first aid to Nancy Pelosi. Oops, sorry, did I say that out loud?
It's all right. I wanted to say
I'm looking for my other book here. I just don't see it here. Oh, it's over there still. Okay, so the new book out here from Dr. Bones is the Pandemic Preparedness book. First aid. They got a lot of good first aid books. Both Dave and I have got several of their books. Good reading, good information. They don't talk over your head. They talk, but they don't talk down to you. They talk straight to you as an intelligent person.
Right. Go one over to the suture and staple kit. One over. There.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with that, folks. Staple kit needs a staple gun. It's not like regular staple. You're stapling skin together. And you have to make sure you don't have ant before you search you. Search you don't have any deritis or dermis in the wound. Because all you're doing is making it worse, and the doctor has to clean out what you did.
Yeah. Now, what I like about this one here is it comes with a instructional USB drive, thumb drive, or a DVD.
But it's best if you have live training, because I've seen people screw this up so badly, or the doctor's looking at them, like my friend who does suture all the time, saying, he see first year medical students goof it up really bad.
Oh, wrong one. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, people are having to batten down right now. All right.
Yep.
So the reason why we're talking so much about the first aid stuff, that because a lot of the city preppers they're really into it big time, and they're into all the stuff, all the extra stuff, injuries, the shot, the trauma shot, first aid kits, the staple stuff, the high tech crazy glue, liquid skin stuff, all that fancy stuff.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony's here. All righty. So the other thing, one of the things why I'm pushing on this a little bit is what's craziness is been going on for the last week or so across this country. What utter stupidity craziness. Oh, some idiot cop did something bad and everybody's freaking out and protesting, rioting, breaking stuff, burning stuff, shooting up stuff. And it's even, they're even having protests out here in Idaho. Of course, the one protest up in North Idaho was the far left idiots coming from Washington over to try to stir up stuff in North Idaho. Of course, they were met by all of the militia groups, and all of a sudden it turned peaceful.
But like I said, we're going off topic, folks.
Yeah.
Let's stay back onto this. What was the next one after combat first aid? And also another thing, folks, if you're in a country, you better figure out on transport.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff you see on screen that gets you so far, if you have to transport somebody for something serious, you got to figure, will it take helicopter? Will it take your truck driving at 80 miles an hour? Will it take an ambulance? People forget this. When I live in Alaska for 2 years, it's like if you miss the bush plane, they bury you in the back 40.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, training. A lot of city preppers are really into getting a lot of training. They do training. They read. And they go to classes and they do online stuff and then they do all sorts of stuff. I know homesteaders, you're busy all the time. You are working the land, you're doing stuff. In the wintertime, when it slows down a little bit, get your training.
Right. But I have to stress the big point. Make sure you have transportation. Oh, that's good, Sand Hollow. That's very good. But make sure you have transportation. It does not replace the doctor. It does not replace the trauma unit. It does not replace the surgical staff. If you get hit in the abdomen, chest and abdomen area, you have to write down the time because it's minutes, not seconds. And it's only a flesh wound. That's movies. Real life, it's down. You write down the time. Where's that marker? Sorry. I'm old. I had it propped. Shoot. You know what I'm talking about, Gil? Yeah, you have to write it. You have to write the time where you do treatment on their forehead.
Mhm.
Because that's, tourniquet, gunshot wound, you have only so much time. And then they either die from shock, bleed out, or internal damage.
Yeah. Now, as a point of reference, during the Civil War, gunshot deaths were categorized two ways. One, it killed the person. Two, it wounded the person, and the person died from infection.
Right.
It was like 4 times as many died from infection than were killed by the bullet directly.
Right. But I have to bring up a point on that, Gil.
Mhm.
They used mini balls back then. And when you get a wound, it's not like a nice little clean wound. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then also, they did a lot of not acupuncture, amputation.
Patients. Yeah. Because the bones were broken and stuff, everything was tore up and everything. But yeah, the thing is still infection, even in modern day, an infection can get you quick.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on from first aid now to something that was mentioned earlier. I believe it was Drops Family Garden that said they had solar and wind to keep their freezers going. Backup power. Again, I want to touch again. Backup power. Regular generators, solar power generators, solar, wind. If you have a good stream flowing through your property, a simple little hydroelectric paddle wheel is easy to make to power a 12-volt generator. Gives you 24-hour a day, trickle charge for your batteries.
Right. Remember, folks, you have to have a buy system like a submarine, old World War II submarine. You have to have a generator source, which is solar, diesel, whatever. And you have to have a battery bank. Without those two, you're not going to have power. And like a lot of people in California, they don't have that set up. They'll either have the house set up, but the problem with that, it goes through the power line and comes back because you don't have any control over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is the hybrid version of it. I'm not getting too much. This is better for Reed. Reed talks forever on this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid system using ion lithium battery. Me and Gil, we talked about it. The battery's a lot better now, but trouble is you have to be careful. If those things get hot.
Yeah.
Sorry, swallowed my.
Yeah, if they get too hot, they degrade, and if you have the pure lithium ones, like that Tesla uses and stuff, they can catch fire. That's why I like the new iron phosphate lithium ones. Run a lot cooler and they're a lot safer.
Yeah, like Drop System says down below. Lithium ion battery works better.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So, and there's, there are just a lot better system now. The battery technology keeps making leaps forward and stuff. So solar power, combination power. Oh, that's the other point. Yeah. Ion or lithium ion don't like the freezing cold. So, but yeah, so you want your power supply, solar, wind, water, combination of all gasoline, diesel, natural gas generators. You want to be able to be off grid for an extended period of time.
Right. I don't understand what Ontario Homestead said. British question: how did you get Uncle Alan to live during a pandemic? I breathe air.
Yeah. Well, thing is, how we got him to go live? He has a new computer.
Oh no, I'm never doing live stream. It'll be a cold day in hell, which is next week for everybody in Canada. Sorry.
and coming down a little bit into northern United States too.
Right.
Oh, yes. Gasifier, old school technology from back during World War One and World War II. Big time during the gas rationing. A lot of farmers installed gasifiers on their farm tractors and their farm trucks. Look it up. There's a lot of open source documentation from that's even FEMA has pulled a bunch onto their website. Department of Interior had some on their site. Department of Energy grabbed a bunch of stuff. They duplicated some of the stuff around. Some of it's not duplicated, but there's a lot of good information out there on gasifiers.
Yeah, most of the it's based on World War II technologies from the Germans. They really know how to do gasification from wood and coal and methane, I think. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. And Anthony's not a fan of gasifiers.
Neither do I. They had a Tiger tank using a wood gasifier. Only problem was it was so hot in there, you had to get out to shoot the cannon.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm just looking at the one screen here for the catching up on the side chat here. All right. The last thing I wanted to touch on here, and city preppers delve into this big time. The good ones do. The ones that aren't all, I take care of anything because I got my camo. And that is the gray man. Now I've done it, a live on Gray Man, and talked about it a bunch on other channels as well. Gray Man is to blend in and not draw attention to yourself. Now, for a homesteader, you think, well, hey, we all look the same out here. We all got coveralls, whatever, flannels. Yeah, but if your homestead is producing good and everybody else is not, you need to blend in and lie through your teeth. Oh, we're having problems too. You don't brag on, we got a bumper crop this year.
You got to do it like Fight Club, like Gil says.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Other side.
Yeah, other side. Sorry. Whoops.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody talks about Fight Club. Nobody talks about their preps when a situation is ongoing and you don't talk to your neighbors and everybody. They're like, oh, I got plenty of stuff. You don't do that. You do just the opposite. You try to blend in, which means if you have old clothes that are old and baggy and stuff, wear them so you blend in. If everybody's losing weight, you look like you're losing weight too.
Right. I tell everybody, you don't show your main garden to everybody. I learned this the hard way when they stripped everything out of my acre truck farm. That's a year's supply of food just went like this. You don't tell people that you have stored preps, like food storage. Now, I'll show people my nice pantry. If they need something, I'll give it to them. That's not a problem. But nobody sees those two. The garden, the main garden, and my stored preps.
Yeah.
Because, people went nuts, right, Gil? People went nuts over toilet paper.
Duh. It's like, oh, there's a pandemic. I'm going to breathe through 20 rolls of toilet paper. Yeah, it's just a lot of people doing knee-jerk reactions without thinking, and that's the problem. If as Dave at Southern Ohio Prepping says, the food transportation system is going to take a hit if we get, because basically we got the number was up to 42, I think it was. Yep. Food processing plants that were shut down. I haven't checked on to see if some of them come back online or not. But then, so they're not processing. Then there were several others that had limited their processing because there were no trucks in their area to transport it because the truckers were sick.
Right, but you got to remember also food processing, transport, and time limitation. I told Tibor about this. You only have a window of time to do everything. Milk, pigs, beef. sheep, but poultry especially. You have a time window to deliver the goods, to get processed, to put on trucks, to deliver to your grocery store. I have to agree with Dave because right now a lot of us are surviving off of, if you see meat at your store, that's coming from a central storage area. My area, we have that. But our big problem is getting truck drivers, healthy ones with experience, to transfer. Our freezers here are full to the brim. We're not talking like your house freezer. We're talking as big as your house, and they have people in there wearing insulated overalls to keep this stuff frozen until ready for transport.
And moving it and packing it up on the pallets and getting it palletized and doing that
Right.
stuff. All right, Anthony. Yeah. And something else here that Sand Hollow brought up. Various batteries for backup.
True.
Okay, now I can't show it there. I'll just pull my mouse apart here real quick here. Open it up here. What I have in here, I have the rechargeable in a loop. Yeah, in a loop. Try to get with the glare shot on it. But basically, yeah, I've rotate through for the last 3 years. Basically, I've been rotating through 3 batteries. When this battery goes dead, I put it in the charger, I take the next one out. And, and I also have another mouse, a blue one here, same thing in it. And so I always have battery set up for these because the package of these get very expensive. Although there are some of these things, I have these for some things because it's just easier. Because my grandkids, get over here. There we go. I got these little lights. These things are cool. White, red, green, blue. All right, and they'll especially the one grandson that's has autism. He likes fixating on changing the colors on it.
Right. Yeah, I have to make a point from Drop Family Gardens. They asked a question. Those freezers only hold about 3.5 months worth of food, not 2 weeks. 2 weeks is your grocery store or big chain box unit. Those are 2.5 weeks. Everybody else, where I live, where how National Geographic Center says, we're a food distribution point, and our freezers are big. You have to drive a golf cart or a forklift to get one end of the place to the other, and those things hold about, when fully loaded, about 3 months worth of food. And once that's gone, you're screwed.
Yeah. Now Dave has shown, has talked about some of the different. Let me see if I can do something here in the background here. Actually, let me just pull up the picture elsewhere here. Give me a second here. On the when he was driving truck, he was talking about the one place here that I have one of my pictures here. I'm going to bring it up here in just a second. Get the right picture here. It's the underground food storage facility. Where is it? Don't tell me I took it out of that file by accident. Okay, here it is. So opening that up. Now let me bring it up on the side here. It's slowly coming up. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is I forget which one he said this one was, but there are numerous of these across the United States. There's only one way in, one way out. The semis come down in, go into it, back up, and they store cold. This is very cool storage, and then they have some cold storage down there too. Food. These are distribution centers, so they bring it in, they stock it up and stuff, and then they sort and they redistribute it out to the different stores and stuff.
Right. And that one I know, that's a salt mine that's converted to heavy food storage use.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, no problem, drop family garden. But the big thing, everybody, by end of the summer, if we don't get our shipping, that's transport like Dave you do, if we don't get processing like what I used to do, I'm retired. I don't do that anymore. Farming back in order, we're going to be really trouble starting in September. That's when all the imports, I wouldn't eat imported beef, all the meat suppliers that are deep freeze will be gone. It'll be totally empty. Now, I live near where Harris Ranch is. That's only about 60 miles. Do you know how many cows we got in one storage unit? We're not talking about little packages. We're talking whole cows on a hook, frozen, stuck in there. Where they're ridding the hooks and they're putting them on pallets. That's how bad it is. We used to throw them out like every week. Now we don't have any places. And right now we're at about 15 foot high.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm just going through and checking it, trying to catch up on the side chat here real quick here. All right. All right, Cecilia. What I've done for my solar system, I've taken and on Amazon, let me see if I can bring that up over here real quick for you. Get it over on the side here. I'm flipping things around here. So cart, come on, get it there to the right one. No changes. Okay. So down here to the bottom. Okay. Bring it up. Boom, boom. Okay. So right now I would be buying on Amazon either the single or the two-piece panels when the prices were below $127 a panel. Right now it's at $142. I'm not going to be buying any right now.
Right.
The different kits are gone. And
right. Let me say hello to Delta Papa. Hi, Delta Papa. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Delta Papa. So, I mean, the prices on some of the stuff, because everybody's jumping on it right now, are going up, 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 supply and demand.
Right. Also, they don't know what they're doing with them.
Yeah.
Because they're just buying the panels and not the deep cycle batteries. I seen one set up. I'm laughing my head off. This guy bought 7 car batteries. I'm looking at him like, that's not going to run your freezer.
Yeah. Now, if you don't want to spend the money for the lithium batteries, whether the ion lithium or the iron, a lot of people are still using the deep cycle golf cart batteries.
Yeah.
They're $100 a pop.
But you could get it cheaper if, like me, I live next to a golf course, so I make a deal with them.
Oh, you get the old ones. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, get the old ones. Yeah. So the big thing that I've noticed people not getting set up right on it is the charge controller that goes with it.
Yeah.
You can buy these panels by themselves. You can buy the batteries, but you got to have a charge controller in there on it. And the charge controller is what keeps it from overcharging or totally depleting it when you're using it. So I'm gonna pull out of here. So the thing is, there are a lot of lessons you can learn. You can pick from the minds of city preppers. Now, some city preppers, I hate to say it, are idiots. They're the ones that I'm trying to get this right, that David call knuckle dragging Neanderthal, whatever. Basically, they're about alpha male, knuckle dragging Neanderthal, idiots. And basically, they're about, I got my guns, I got my ammo, I got my camo, I'm good to go.
Right.
And it's like, no. But there are the ones, you find the good channels that really talk about across the board multiple topics, and they only touch on the weapons and stuff now and then. They're talking about first aid. They're talking about power. They're talking about food. They're talking about clothing. They're talking about shelters. And so those are the ones you can learn from.
Okay, I think who came in? Blue Healer came in. Hi, Blue Healer.
Hey, Blue Healer.
And then I think Drop Family had a good question. Yes, you can hook up to the solar panels, but you have to have a converter, because if you have a normal non-DC freezer, it's not going to work. You have to have a Gil?
Inverter.
Right. Inverter and
inverter.
Control box. And it only works when the sun's up. So you got 8 to 9 hours where your freezer is off, unless you want to pack it up with what I do, blue ice, to keep it cool overnight. That's why you always have the battery bank. So at nighttime at 5 o'clock, when it gets dark or you lose full strength light, it charges your freezer units or whatever power, like here, to last longer. Because everybody in California.
This is our other channel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One of the things to do, considering about solar panel, and read at Manifestations of Imaginations. One more time, Manifestations of Imaginations is an electrical engineer. All right, and he's done some amazing things with his stuff. I noticed that Drop mentioned up there that sometimes it's better to have a 24-volt system rather than a 12-volt system. I believe that Reed has both, and several others have the once they get to a certain size, it's better to go. Once you get to a certain size, you need to have a 12-volt side, a 24-volt side link on it, or a 48-volt side DC side link on it, and use the inverter from that to go to your 110 or 220.
Right. And that's a whole different issue. I'm not going to get into that. Drives me nuts. But talk to Reed, talk to a few other people on solar homesteading and those channels, because I'm better at farming. Food production is my thing. Also cooking. Big thing we didn't touch too well on it is processing. A lot of homesteaders got to understand, when you do processing at home, you have to do it right. Because I seen people screw up carcasses. Like, did you take a butcher class? Oh no, we know how to butcher deer. It's not like a deer. They don't have glands. It's like, you got to know how to butcher a cow. And a lot of people says, oh, we can butcher them on the ground. No, you just defeated the purpose. That's why you see real farms or real homesteads, they have a tripod and a tractor. Or
they have the barn with the
hook on it.
The hook, the upper up out of the upper the loft area where they store it. They have the big pulley system. They just And actually, when I was in back in Pennsylvania back in '79, I think it was, I helped some friends back there put up a couple steers. They bought them in, bang, boom, got slit up, and these guys were fast. They do their own. Now I noticed a couple of channels out there were talking about taking their beef they raise their beef stuff, but they take it to a butcher to get it done.
Yeah, we have one down the street. He takes outside beef and game, but he has different sections for that. And I got to say hello to Matt. Is that Matt, Second Star Survival?
Second Star Survival Spreader Bar. Yep. Okay. Yeah. All right, Anthony. I know Anthony's done it. Come on, where's I just lost it? Come on, get it back up here. So raising cows, you got to have the land for them to graze on.
Oh yeah.
Pigs and goats, less land. You still get a fair decent amount of meat from them. So
We just call them little cows.
yeah, little cows. There
Uh,
we go. And here's the thing: make contacts. Now, city preppers like to quote network with everybody to everything. Hey, network, find a butcher and everything. All right, right now, we're here in southeastern Idaho. The backlog on all the butchers, 4 months out,
oh yeah.
minimum. Their appointments are taken at 4 months. And so right now, the real good butcher that we got sent to, that several people recommend highly. My daughter was able. This was several weeks ago. Was able to get hit. The first open appointment was October 22nd. Think about that. October. So, yeah. So we're getting a steer from our neighbor across the street, and he's going to charge us $1.25 a hoof pound, and then we're going to take it to the butcher and get it, butchered up. And we got someone else who's going to go and halvesies on it, or quarters on it, so we don't, we'll have to everything for it.
Yeah, it's a good idea to take a class, Matt. That second star. Take a class, learn how to butcher properly. It's easy on game because you could goof it up, but on cows and sheep and goats, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
And on Palmetto, goats are good, sheep is good, pigs are good. Of course, you could get llamas, but they spit.
Yeah. Anthony, my property here is 5 acres. And before I bought it, Brandon across the street leased 3 of the acres and had, I think he had like 10 cows out there grazing on it during the summertime. And it was enough because it was all pasture land. It was enough to keep them going.
Well, that's good, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, and most butchers are licensed by the state.
Yeah.
You have to have that blood chit.
What do we got here? I just lost it. There we go. Boom. I have wrong one. Sorry, it's kicking up here. Scheduled 2 for February when I called the cut list.
Yep.
Yeah.
She ain't kidding.
Yeah. You only have an acre and a half. Okay. I grew up on an acre and a quarter. On that acre and a quarter, we had plenty of chickens. My mom just loved chickens, everything. When I was little, single digit AIDS. We had 3 horses, a mama sow, and a bunch of pigs, piglets, and those would get butchered off. We had probably about 30 chickens. My sister was raising a bunch of carrier pigeons. We had 2 goats and dogs and stuff like that, and a good sized garden. So yeah, you can call a homestead anything over an acre or more. Yeah, you can call it a homestead. And anyone gives you grief over that, send them to me.
And I get too old for this. So that's why I'm retired in the suburbs. I had 20 years of farming and going out in the boonies. No more.
Yeah. Yeah. What you can, how you use your land is, that's the thing is, land use is very important. That's something that city preppers can teach you, because like I started this out with, they're limited on space, so they really pack stuff in there.
Oh yeah, but be careful when you do that with animals, because you bring in more vermin and more disease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The second star. Now, trying to think. Good Simple Living just moved from Washington to Idaho. They're working on setting up their homestead here in Idaho. Even in Washington, she's been butchering on YouTube rabbits for quite a while. She talks all about it and all the safety issues and stuff. That's Good Simple Living.
right. I agree with the fat content. It's called in the old days, rabbit starvation. You'll help me out.
The Asian.
Starvation. It's a part of uretic poisoning to the kidneys. You get a lot of protein at one shot, but no fat to coat it. So your
Yeah.
kidneys go overload. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I prefer poultry.
Everybody prefer poultry.
Yeah. Yeah. Chickens are probably, everyone's, first thing to go to. Of course, there's a bunch back east that are doing the quail. Quail are so small. Why? I mean, it's one mouthful and it's gone.
Well, quail is more like the Asian markets buy them.
Yeah.
Same thing with ducks. Same thing with guinea hens.
All right. Now, I know we have a neighbor here in our city, raises a lot of goats and raises a lot of rabbits. And ain't nobody skinny in his family.
Because they use lard.
And so, can't be streaming stuff. Okay. Here we go. And then down here to follow up on that is, but if you, yeah. All right. So, folks, we've hit an hour. That's all I was planning on doing tonight. My wife is here from California, so I gotta go spend time with her. And we covered a lot of good stuff here, I think.
Yeah, we covered everything.
Yeah. So, let me bring up my little list here for that. Come on, there it is. Okay, so Tuesday night, starting at 7:00 Mountain Time. On Tactical Tuesday, the topic is going to be 3 types of people to avoid in SHTF, Tawaki, whatever you want to call it. But the 3 types of people to avoid in a major disaster situation. And that'll be Tuesday at 7:00 Mountain Time. All right. So, as always, everyone out there, stay happy, stay safe, and stay prepared. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.